Hey everybody, welcome back. It's me, your old pal Orpheus, yes, with another edition of Blade and Sorcery. As I do a little bit of my Tai Chi today. Having kind of a tense one here. We are here on Orpheus Plays, and you are here on Orpheus Plays with me. And that means that I care about whether you're having a good day or not today. If you're having a crappy day, sit down, relax. We got a little bit of fun coming your way. If you're having a great day, boom, we're going to take that thing into the stratosphere. So yes, going to just sit here and kind of relax a little bit. And let me tell you why. Well, you know what? Let's start things off. And then I'll tell you why. Because that's the patented Orpheus difference. All right. Today we're doing the Warzone again today. I really, really like this. And I also like this thing. I had this on about a week ago, this combination. And, like, it's so funny how scrawny my wrist and everything is. And I'm just beating people up. And then I got this, like, Batman thing that I can block. Anyway, so with this one, this is Gladiators versus Knights. They say it's time to fight back for your freedom against the city. Except, what city? There's no. This is an arena. I guess we're like out here like chess pieces or something. I don't know. But what it means is there are going to be 3 people out on the arena floor at any given time. 3 NPCs plus me. They're stuck in here with rawr me, and they're going to be fighting each other. And then if I want to, I can either watch or I can come up and just, cheap shot the hell out of them. Which is probably, I'm going to do a little bit of both. So let's kick things off right now. And they're going to go at it. And I think I'm going to get the old can opener going here. We'll put some fire on it. Yes. Hot axe challenge. No, don't come to me. No. Hey, buddy. There we go. He was like, hey, Orpheus, I'm going to get you. And then they go, no, he is ours. We will protect him. So... I haven't gotten to the point about why I'm so angsty this morning. And here's why. So I sleep a little later than most. He has a black eye. Dude, you got him right in the balls. Anyway, so I sleep a little later, mostly because I don't know, I just have one of those delayed sleep kind of things. I sleep pretty much whenever my body tells me it's time to sleep, and that can get a little awkward sometimes. And so I'm sleeping. It was about, 8 o'clock, 7:30, something like that. And doorbell rings. And so normally I don't really answer my door because it's normally just the mailman. We don't really have anyone that comes over unless we order something, right? We just don't have those kinds of friends. They'll contact first, okay? So the doorbell rings, ding dong, and I'm kind of like, half asleep, half awake. I'm on my sleep meds, so I'm a little bit out of it. So I'm like, no, screw it. I'm not gonna answer it. And then I hear pounding on the door, full on like pounding. The whoever it was just beating on the door. And I'm like, what the ever-loving hell is going on? So I'm going out there, and I have cameras, so I flick one of the cameras on real quick, but as I'm trying to look at it, more pounding, boom, 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 and I'm like, okay, well, what in the holy hell? So I go right for the door, and I look out the peephole, and it's 2 cops. Two of the boys in blue. They're just here, and one of them is right at the door, and he's got his fist up on the door, and he's pounding away, and he looks really upset, and they both look really tense, and I'm like, oh God. Like, all of a sudden my mind is racing. I'm like, did I do something dumb? Okay, so I'm like thinking through the last couple of weeks, and then I'm like, did I do something horribly stupid? And I'm thinking, I don't know. I don't know if I did. Like, I've got this brain damage, so I might have done something weird, right? So I'm getting to that point with the traumatic brain injury, so it's like, I could do something strange and maybe not remember it. I mean, it hasn't happened yet or anything, but I mean, theoretically, right? So I'm just like, oh crap. So I'm like, I'm still like I was still under the sleep meds, but I was like fully awake at this point, right? That's gotta suck. Oh god. And anyway, so instantly I'm like, right? Then I open the door, and I'm like, hey guys, what's going on? And they say, we're looking for Bob, I'll say, right? And I'm like, what, looking for who? Because I'm like, I just got out of it, like literally, the only, right in the throat. Like the only steps I've taken so far since I woke up were like, from my bed to the door, right? And they're like, we're looking for Bob. And I'm like, this is not the Bob family, this is the Orpheus family. And he goes, do you know about a big red truck? And I go, I think so. I think that's my neighbor. And he goes, okay. Well, we're looking for apartment, whatever. And I'm like, no, that's the guy around the corner. And he's like, oh, okay. Well, you must get that a lot. We're sorry. Bye. And then so I'm like, okay. So the first thing I do is I go back to my tablet and I bring up my security camera footage and I start looking. And for like, this is so nasty to do that. This is overpowered. I don't feel right doing this. This is so unfair. So for like, ooh, boom, headshot. There we go. So for like 5 minutes before they were pounding on the door, they were like casing the apartment house, like building there. Like one of them was standing out in front of my patio there because they thought this was the apartment of the guy they were looking for. So they were like, you've seen it on cops and body cam footage. They're like, I'm going to be up here at the front door. You cover all the exits. He's got cameras, so he can probably see us. So if he tries to make a run for it, be ready. Like, so like, they're walking around and they're like waiting for backup and stuff. And it's like, so, finally they got themselves grouped together and I see them like, kind of straighten up their belts and stuff and come walk around the corner. And that's when they came pounded on the door. And I'm like, what the holy hell? Like, there's a morning for you. Oh, dude. Oh my God. That's disgusting. Anyway, so it got me thinking, like, I've had some run-ins with the law, right? I'm sure most of you have had some sort of, interaction with our wonderful police officers. And sometimes they go well, and sometimes they might not, that's how it goes. But I wanted to tell you a story. Wow, did they just, like... Okay, I don't know what just happened there, but a little tap on the chin for you. I want to tell you a story about something that happened to me. Okay, so this is going to be another Orpheus did something extremely stupid that, whoa, wow, human blender. Maybe I can take advantage of this. Here, come here. Can I grab you? Whoa. What the hell? Anyway, so this is an edition of not just Orpheus Plays, but Orpheus is a complete idiot. So years ago, when I was working for the Life Event Entertainment Hosting Company, i.e. I was a wedding DJ, mostly. Whoa, what is going on? What is going on? Oh my God, these guys are freaking out over here. Oh no. Oh, he's trying to escape. No, you don't get to go anywhere. Anyway, so I was working as a wedding DJ. And, I don't think I told you guys in that one. I'll put it up here again if I get to it. It's kind of tough for me sometimes to take notes on these videos. Anyway, I didn't tell you guys what happened with that company and why I actually stopped doing it. And it was, yes, I got paid absolute dick for it, okay? I didn't get paid anything for that job. Hold on, we're gonna swap out for something here. Gonna do a little, whoop. Okay, maybe a little. There we go. A little dual-bladed Sith action for us. A little Star Wars kid. Anyway, so I didn't tell you exactly why. Now, I got paid for anywhere from an 8 to 20-hour experience, depending upon how much work I put into it, right? I got paid $94.13 for a gig. And again, if you want to go look that one up, it's an interesting tale of how that was, anyway, a part of my life for quite a while. Okay, so when I quit, I did a full-on, like, screw you guys, I'm going home. Right? So I was all set up to do this gig, and it was a couple that they were complete jackwads, right? They wanted every single song. They told me what they wanted, in what order, what they wanted me to say, and when. Like, the ways to pronounce people's names, little stupid in-jokes that they had with their bridal party, right? And, so, like, it had been 2 weeks of planning with this couple, and they were just, it was awful. Like, I had never dealt with someone like people that bad before. And believe me, when you do stuff in the wedding industry, you encounter some enormous Karens, right? And their families, okay? And some enormous Chads and their families too. Because, you know, this is my special day and you're not gonna screw it up. And I'm like, I mean, you chose pretty much the best company, right? And I'm pretty much the best guy they have, so I mean, I hate to toot my own horn here, but like, our company has had a reputation for being, like, you know, the best. And so, you know, I had been working with this couple for 2 weeks, and they're still just as freaked out on, like, the day of. And they would call me like twice a day, 3 times a day. Did you find this song? Did you figure out this? Did you talk to the caterer? I'm like, oh my God. So finally I had had enough. I was looking for one specific song that this woman had told me the day before that she has to have at this party, because if not, you know, some friend that's flying in from somewhere ridiculous won't feel like they're part of the party. Or it was stupid. It was some obscure thing, and you know, we didn't have the ability to download anything really at that point, and especially not something like this song. I remember it just being something completely dumb. And so I'm at a used record store, used CD and record store, and I'm like, I asked the guy at the counter about this song, and he's like, yeah, I mean, we might have it. Go check in, you know, the whatever section. I think it was like a slower dance song. I think it was a country song too, but it was like really, really obscure. And and so he's like, yeah, go check over there. So I did, you know, and there was like 100 CDs in this thing. And the tabs, there was like no tabs to label anything because it's all like used CDs. And I'm thumbing through them. And my pager goes off. Now, our company had some of the fancier pagers of the time that had a little LCD screen on them. And you could send like actual text messages on them. And so we would use them to coordinate stuff. Oh, does so-and-so have an extra lighting system for Bob? Bob needs a new turntable. You know, that kind of stuff. Ooh. And so I got a text on this thing while I'm thumbing through these stupid CDs, and she says, it's one from my headquarters, the dispatcher, but it's from this woman who's getting married. And it says, hey, I also need you to get these 3 other songs. And again, these are ones that I was like, I know this is going to be a goddamn nightmare. And it's like 4 hours before I'm supposed to go and set up this thing. And it was going to be like an 8-hour gig, and they said that they really like the party, but like only because they're only going to have a great time because I'm choosing all this music thing. You know, like that's what she was saying, and I'm like, oh my God, okay, whatever. So I need these 3 extra songs. It's really important, and it'll ruin the night if they're not there. And I'm like, okay. So I call this woman back, And she starts naming off these songs, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't know if I can do this, but, you know, I'm the consummate professional, so I didn't know where to get them. I was trying to find them. I went to 3 different places for these dumb things, and I found one. And so I decided, you know what, I have been doing this a while. It is a thankless damn job at this point. Oh, no. Give a little injection of some electricity. Stop it. There we go. Ooh, I chopped off the magic arm. That stopped it. Anyway, so I decided, you know what, screw you guys. I'm going home. And I went back to the main distribution center, the warehouse where everyone picked up their equipment and all that stuff. And I pulled my car in, and I popped the trunk, and I started unloading stuff out of the car. And they're like, oh, I didn't think that you had a gig this morning, you know. What are you coming back bringing? And I'm like, yeah, no, this is my stuff for tonight's gig. I'm not going. And they're like, what? I said, as a matter of fact, not only am I not going to that gig, I quit. And they're like, what? Because they're about to lose some money here. And, you know, I said, no, I am done. I'm not doing this job anymore. And they're like, oh, you're kidding, right? You probably need some help or something. Here, let's get someone to help you out with the gig tonight. I'm like, no. No. I quit, man. I'm out of here. And they're like, okay, well, I guess if that's what you're going to do, you're going to leave everybody hanging and stuff. I'm like, I have had enough. I've been doing this for like a year and a half. You guys have not given me a raise the whole time. I'm still making $94.13 per gig. Ugh, right? So I start unloading all this crap, and it's taken me, you know, a good 15 minutes or so. Well, at that point, we had these special DJ CDs. And it was like in a little binder, and there were, I think, 40 CDs in this thing. And like, if you would try to buy it, it would have cost... It would have cost about, I don't know, probably $400, $500 at the time. And it was like, you could... What? You could just take this one binder of CDs, and you could run an entire party with these things. Like a 6-hour party, you could run the entire thing, because it had like all the traditional songs that you would play at a wedding, and it also had updated ones that like, well, you're immune to that, huh? Bro. Never underestimate the power of backslash. Anyway. So these CDs were like, they kept updated so you could play more modern stuff or whatever. So it's like, you know, stupid chicken dance and all that, cut the cake. And anyway, so I had one of these sets of CDs because the woman had wanted a lot of the ones that were on there, the traditional ones, you know, like Moni Moni and all that crap. Anyway. So, wow, I just made a little bit of NPC soup there. That's pretty cool. Let me stomp on him. So I had these CDs in my trunk, and they were like, I was famous for basically my car was a TARDIS, like, because I could pack so much stuff into this little tiny like four-door car. It was a little, you know, a little sedan kind of thing. And so I'm unloading stuff, and I'm unloading it, and I'm unloading it, and I had these CDs tucked up like under, like with the spare tire in the trunk, and I was so pissed off that I didn't even notice I had these things. And so like everything's out of my car, and I'm like, that's right, screw you guys, I'm going ham. And I did. I was just like, vroom, drove off, and I felt like, whew, I'm finally free of that stupid job, but crap, now I don't have any way to make a living. Well, I had some savings. I was living with a gal who also had some savings, so we're like, you know, we'll make our way. It's no big deal. Well, flash forward 5 months. We're about to get evicted because neither of us could find a job in enough time to get paychecks rolling to pay for things, and you know how that spiral can sometimes work. You get off by a couple of weeks, and all of a sudden it's like, oh crap. And so we're just about to get evicted, and I had just a couple weeks before that been cleaning out my... Why are you all just standing here? Is it coffee break? Let's let's just take care of this. Hold on. Okay, let's get a good swing here. 1, 2, 3. What? 3. Oh no. Oh no, this is just an odd day altogether. Oh, come here. Anyway, so I had just discovered a couple weeks before this that set of CDs, and I was like, oh, cool. So, like, my girlfriend and I were listening to it, like, you know, when we're hanging out on the back patio, grilling something, or you know what I mean, like, just kind of like, hey, these are cool. Screw those guys. Ha ha ha, right? Okay. Well, suddenly, one of my, the people that I used to work with, he actually also quit the job. Because of a very similar reason. He was like, screw this crap, I'm out of here. And he decides, you know, he calls me up and he's like, hey, I got this friend who's an exotic dancer, you know, like one of the ones you hire to go to a party, and they have like a bodyguard. It's not like they're an escort or anything. They're like literally just like a stripper, but they come to your house for like a party or something. Okay. So he's like, yeah, I got this friend who's a dancer for parties at home, and she needs music. And he's like, you know, she's willing to pay like $400 if you have any of your stuff. What the hell? Should I even get close to this? Oh my God! No, stay back! Stay back! Back, Satan! Back! No! I curse you out, Satan, with the power of the Lord! Oh my God. We're gonna just let that happen in the background here while she gets beat up. Oh my God. Dude! It's like they're... It's like some angry African Sahara, like, mating dance. What? Oh my God. Oh no. Anyway... Anyway, so he's like, yeah, do you know anyone that's got any music, or do you have... That he's just attacking the hell out of... Whoa! Anyway, now that horror is over, there's something so strange going on in here today. Everyone's on LSD. That's the problem. Everyone is on drugs right now. So he's like, yeah, if you know anyone or you have any CDs from when you used to work, because I had like a big case that had a bunch of CDs that I collected for, you know, having better and better gigs, or these ones where people want the specific songs for things. Oh no. Axe in the face and sword in the face. Oof. And so I had this huge collection of CDs, and I'm like, you know, I do have some, but I was like, I really don't want to part with these, right? And I'm thinking like, well, you know, I could get rid of these DJ CDs. They're just, you know, they're fun and stupid. It's like, well, why do I need the chicken dance, right? And so I'm like, yeah, actually, you know what? And I thought, since this guy had quit because he was upset that, like, he was kind of, you know, like on my side here. So he goes, you know, hey, that would be awesome. Because I said, you know, I got those DJ CDs. He says, oh, wow, really? I said, yeah. Well, she would pay like $400 or $500 for that. And I go, oh, well, yeah. Because the rent at the time was like $250 or something like that. So I'm like, that will, you know, give us a month to get back on our feet, plus some extra money. It's like, yeah, man. Like, absolutely. And he goes, okay, well, let me talk to her. And he's like, I'll call you back tomorrow. Yeah, okay, sweet. So I tell my girlfriend about it. We're kind of celebrating, like, yeah, awesome. You know, so next day comes, he calls. And he's like, yeah, let me, you know, I've got it all set up. You can just come by and you know, she'll give you everything and you'll be all good. And, you know, I'm like, hey, thanks, man. I really appreciate this. You're helping me out so much. He's like, yeah. He's like, what are you going to do with the money? I'm like, oh, well, you know, pay rent and I get some food. And I'm like, you know, I'm thinking about maybe getting a couple of joints or something from somebody and take that back home. There's so much weirdness going on in here. I love this mode today. Flick? Can I do a little flick? A little flick? Nope. And yeah, so I'm like, yeah, I could probably buy some joints or somebody, go back to my house and, you know, maybe share with a couple friends to celebrate. He's like, oh yeah, okay. And I thought the call sounded a little weird, right? It sounded a little hollow, but I was like, maybe he's on a speakerphone or something in his house or whatever, because he had a family, he maybe keeping an eye on people or whatever. So I go, all right, yeah, well, I'll come over it. I think it was like 7 or 8 o'clock that night, and we'll get this set up. And they're like, yeah. Hang up the phone. I'm like, yeah, awesome. And my girlfriend and I, we wait and we go there later that night, and show up, park in the driveway, go in, and it's my buddy, and it's this gal who's with her, and he's she introduces herself. Hi, I'm Jesse or whatever, and I'm the person who your friend was talking about. And I'm like, hey, how you doing? My name's Orf. I'm your old pal. And missed. Ha! Slash. And so she's like, yeah, let me see CDs. Yeah, there you go. She's like, oh, cool. And pulls out, a couple $100 bills. She's like, yeah, I'll pay you $400 for this. Like, oh yeah, that would be actually pretty good. And so she hands me the money, but I forgot to mention, there was another woman there that she said, this is my friend. She's the one that works as a supervisor for me when I go on my dancing, like when I go to parties. I'm like, oh, okay, she's like, hi, my name's Jill or whatever it is. And I'm like, okay, hi Jill, good to meet you. I never knew how this thing worked with the dancers, so I'm like, I assumed it would be some big, huge bodyguard guy, like like from Revenge of the Nerds, Milt will come for you. Milt's like, 8 feet tall, like 500 pounds. And she's like, no, that's sometimes it's just they need a little supervision to let them know that they're not supposed to do anything. And I'm like, oh, that's neat, that I learned something today. Like today I learned. And so, get the money. I'm like, all right, well, we do have to go, and it's a little late, and we'll get home, and I'm like to my friend, I'm like, dude, I'll talk to you later. I really appreciate this. And I go, okay, well, Jess, it's good to meet you. Good luck on your endeavor. And I, because she's like, yep, I'm going to a party tonight. That's why I got my supervisor. Well, okay. I'm like, good luck at your party. Enjoy. And my girlfriend and I we get in the car. Vroom, start up the car. And I put it in reverse. And the moment those white brake lights come on, the backup lights come on, it was like fireworks went off around me. There were red and blue and white and spotlights and like, oh my God, what the hell is going on, right? Suddenly it's like almost like SWAT teams and stuff. There were 7 cop cars, all their lights going, all of them with spotlights on my car with my girlfriend right there. and I'm like, what the holy hell is going on, right? So they come up and they got guns drawn and they're, get out of the car right now. Whoa. Like, can I do this without doing that? They're like, get out of the car right now. Get out of the car. Put your hands in, like, oh my God. So I'm like, I open the door and I'm like getting out of the car and I'm like, what do I do? Like, put your hands in your head. So I'm like, okay, I put my hands in my head. They're like, walk backwards to the sound of my voice. Okay. So I'm like, walking backwards. I'm like, oh my God, what did I do? Right. And so I get put down on the ground, just like you see on Cops, right? It's just like full on, like, right on the ground, just kind of sitting there as they're handcuffing me and like telling me my rights and stuff. Like, oh my God. I'm like, what did I do? What happened? They're like, well, you've been arrested for selling stolen goods and for theft, like larceny basically, and for selling stolen goods. And I'm like, for what? And they're like, that set of CDs. And I'm like, oh my God. Like suddenly I'm like, oh crap, like this was a full-on sting operation. They knew about this whole thing the whole time. Oh no. And then I look, and between 2 of the cop cars is my former boss from that DJ company. He's just standing there, and he's like, stroking his chin like a like an evil Bond villain. Like, yes, good. I expected him to have a cat that he was petting. Like, yes, come, Mr. Bigglesworth. Anyway, so yeah, I get arrested. I get put into so they called my parents and told them about it, and oh my god, they freaked the hell out. But my mom was like, oh my god, he's mentally unstable, he might do something to himself. And so instead of, letting me spend my day, or, my overnight into the next day, in a nice little quiet cell where I could get some sleep and stuff, no, I was put into the special observation cell, which was right basically in the office where all of them did their paperwork and stuff. Cheap shot. But it was this plexiglass, it was like a cell, but one wall was plexiglass. And the toilet was just right there. Right? Just right there, not behind a door or anything. It's like, where am I going to go? Anyway, so the toilet's just right there, sink, and just a bunch of cops right here doing all their stuff. And I'm like, oh my god, what am I supposed to do? They're like, well, we're keeping an eye on you because your mom said you might be a danger to yourself. I'm like, I'm not a danger to myself. I'm just freaked out. Oop, nope, come on. Don't be in the darkness here too long. It's hard for me to edit. Stop it. And so I'm sitting there a couple hours, and then two big cops come and get me. Two big detectives. And now it's time. Now it's time to be interrogated. And so when I watch all of these true crime interrogation videos, and they sit there and you see them do it, I know exactly what that feels like, because my interrogation was 3 hours long. And it started off with them basically just telling me that I was screwed because they had all this information. And then it was them asking me what was going on. And I had told them pretty much precisely what happened. I'm like, look, I had these CDs when I quit. I didn't know about them for a while. And then I found them, and then someone, an opportunity presented itself, right? And they're like, oh, okay, well, I don't think you're telling us the truth. You stole them when you initially quit so that you could, pirate them and stuff like this. And I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, well, what about the light bar that you stole? I'm like, the light bar that I stole? What are you talking about? So I did not steal a light bar. It would have been pretty obvious because I have a small car, Ooh. There you go. So they're like, okay, well then, what about the turntables that you stole? And I'm like, turntables? Because I had taken none of this other stuff. So I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? They're like, well, it's coincidental. A lot of stuff went missing when you quit. I'm like, a lot of people quit around when I quit because they gotten fed up at the same time. Now, so they may or may not have quit because I was mumbling about forming a union and the company told us no. So that may or may not have been it, and I was kind of like the ringleader for it, so that may or may not have contributed to the outcome of this. So I found out, the whole thing was a stinger operation. They apparently had caught my friend, and then they said, okay, so they pulled him into a room, and they had, forced him to, you go get your friend and get him arrested, or we're going to send you down. You got a family, and you got a reputation and stuff. So he was part of it, and the company was part of it, and the hollow sound that I heard on the phone was the company and cops sitting in their office listening to the phone call. And then so I'm sitting in this interrogation room, and they keep drilling me with these questions, and I was exhausted at that point. I couldn't sleep in that observation reptile cage, right? At the zoo. I couldn't do that. And so they're just asking me more and more questions, and then they get to, so what about this drug running operation you have? And I look at him and I'm like, what are you even talking about? I said, you're talking about buying a bunch of drugs and taking them back and giving them to people, sharing them with people. I'm like, yeah, I wanted to get a couple of joints. And they're like, well, we're going to have to search your car. I'm like, feel free. It's a complete mess. It's going to take you the rest of the day. So they did, kept me in a holding cell. And then they were like, okay, well, we're going to let you go for now. You'll have to come back for, obviously for court and all that stuff. And yes, I got a lawyer and everything. Bleh. Don't ever deal with those people. Anyway, so they were like, okay, well, we'll let you go and make a recommendation to the judge if you go and do a sting operation on one of your friends. And I'm like, I mean, what do you want me to do? So, well, the guy that you were going to go buy the pot from. If you go and you guys are supposed to be concentrating on each other. Oh God, I got to do something drastic here. Yeah. Nope, this one. And so he's like, the guy that you were going to get your stuff from, if you get him and then bring him, bring us the stuff you bought, and then we'll move in. And I'm like, I mean, I guess because I didn't want to get in trouble at this point. I was like, holy crap, they're going to let me go if I do this. And obviously not, but I wouldn't have to sit in jail for a week or whatever. And so they explain what I have to do. And I'm sitting there just about to go. And I hear off in the distance phone rings, because I was in like this different building that they'd taken me for to like set me up for my undercover operation, right? So the phone rings. And about a minute later, the guy comes in and he's like, your lawyer is on the phone. And I'm thinking, I don't have a lawyer. Like, right? I'm like, I'm sure my folks have a lawyer, but I do not, right? So I'm like, oh, okay. I'm playing it off like all cool. And I get on the phone and it's this guy, and I'm like, yeah, hello. And he says, hi, Orpheus. I said, yeah. He says, your parents hired me. I'm your legal counsel. Okay. He says, so where are you right now? I kind of explained what's going on. He said, oh, so you're not actually, like, they don't have you in cuffs right now? They don't have you under arrest, like, right now? I said, not really, no. They arrested me yesterday, but they have let me out. Like, they let me drive to this place by myself. And he's like, oh, okay, well, so what do they want you to do? And I said, I really don't want to do this, but I'm like, what else do and I explained to him what they want me to do. And he says, oh, okay, so they're going to let you, like, drive there yourself, and then you're supposed to come back, right? I said, yeah. He says, okay, so here's what you're going to do. You get in your car, and you drive home. Like, won't I get in trouble for that? They're like, no, I'll take care of it. He said, no, they can't really do this to you. This is all, under your own decision here. And I said, well, they said that they would say something to the judge. He's like, no, that doesn't matter. The judge isn't going to care. You're in for another charge completely. Why are they going to, dismiss that for you busting one of your friends? And I'm like, oh, thank God. I didn't want to do this. Like, I didn't want to be a narc, but it's like rule of the jungle at this point, man. I was a preppy friggin' kid, right? And so I'm like, okay, well, I'll see you officers in about 20 minutes. And I drove, and I just left. Went home, and it ended up, I'm not going to tell you the full outcome of that one. Let's just say I didn't have to go to jail or anything. I had a little bit of probation and a little bit of community service, which was cool because I worked with some of the local youth groups in the area. I was, I would have done that pretty much anyway if I had the free time, and they made it so I did. So that was cool. And so yeah, that's the story. I am... Whoa, that's the story of when your old buddy Orpheus here got arrested, interrogated, put in a jail cell, and almost used as a stooge by the cops. I don't even know what's going on here. Let me see if I can push this back down. Okay. So before this freaks out anymore, this has been a long one, but it's kind of an interesting story that I hope you guys enjoyed. Anyway, we'll see you later here on Orpheus Plays, as I ghost bust these guys into oblivion. And we'll see you on the next one. One last one. Alright. See you later. Bye.